All right, it's 21 CR 1466, 22 CR 802, Scott Funk, violation of community control. Violation failed to appear August 16th of last year and thereafter at probation. You understand that charge?
Oh, yes, Your Honor.
Failed to show for aftercare August 21. You understand that charge?
Oh, yes, Your Honor.
Tested positive for fentanyl May 22nd. Do you understand that charge?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Clammer, what do you want to do?
Your Honor, he's prepared at this point in time to plead guilty to the violations and speak to sentencing.
Is that what you want to do?
Oh, yes, Your Honor.
What is your plea to all those allegations?
Guilty.
I'll accept your guilty plea and find you guilty.
Buckle up, guys. Today we're going to step inside a courtroom where the stakes are high. Scott Funk faces multiple violations, including failure to appear and testing positive for fentanyl. One by one, the charges are laid out, and the tension builds as he responds calmly yet inevitably. The courtroom holds its breath as he enters a guilty plea, setting the stage for a dramatic reckoning with the law.
Guilty plea and find you guilty. Mr. Clammer?
Your Honor, thanks for speaking with us in chambers. It's an understatement to say that you've spent a lot of time with Scott throughout his various cases. He's not going to tell you any story, and I'm not going to either. Obviously, he's incredibly drug addicted, and there are those people that are going to be that way until they're in the grave. And I think, sadly for Scott, he probably is that guy. But he's, to a certain degree, made that choice for himself. He doesn't have a history, at least a recent history since I've been with him, of ever hurting anybody. He loves his grandmother dearly. She was just sent to the hospital this morning on an unrelated, coincidental thing that she went there. He loves her dearly. When I talk to him, the times he's most ashamed of himself is what she has to go through and seeing him overdose and being brought back to life. But he understands you're going to sentence him to prison. He'd like to have some reasonable time. I was going to recommend a 12 or 18-month term, so he has some end in sight, I guess, to a certain degree. But he's here.
The defense attorney steps forward, delivering a heartfelt account of Scott's long struggle with addiction. He paints a picture of a man torn between loyalty to his grandmother and the grip of substance abuse. The attorney admits the harsh truth. Scott may be trapped in a lifelong battle with drugs. The moment is heavy with emotion as he stresses that Scott is prepared to face sentencing and answer every question posed.
He's here to answer any questions you have, guys.
Why didn't you show up?
I didn't show up because when I got out of the treatment facility, my grandmother was in the hospital and for a whole week. And honestly, when I left there, I wasn't in a good place. I was really depressed, and I just wasn't thinking clearly. And when I had talked to my counselor, he had told me that I had missed aftercare. So at that point, I was just scared to go back to jail. That's why I didn't go to probation.
Scott is confronted about missing his appointments, and his explanation reveals a vulnerable side. He describes a period of depression and fear following his grandmother's hospitalization, admitting he wasn't thinking clearly. The judge presses him on accountability, exposing the tension between his intentions and actions. This section captures a human struggle behind the crime, showing a fragile psychology that led to repeated violations.
Where was she in the hospital?
University, Tri Point.
So you couldn't break away for 10 minutes and report to Kim?
Yes, Your Honor, I definitely could have. Like I said, I just wasn't in a good place, and I wasn't thinking clearly because, I should have. But something just in me was just, I don't know, it just made me just, like I said, just scared to go back to jail.
So you want to go to prison on this?
I definitely, Your Honor, don't want to go to prison, but yes, I would just like to get this over with and just pretty much put this behind me.
And then what?
And probably going to be moving back to Hawaii.
For what?
To live there.
As the dialogue intensifies, Scott admits he could have complied, but felt paralyzed by fear and despair. He expresses a desire to move on and start over, revealing plans to return to Hawaii. The conversation turns to his persistent drug use, and the observer sees a man caught in a cycle he cannot easily break. The exchange between Scott and the judge highlights the frustration and disappointment that underpins these courtroom battles.
What are the drugs like over there?
I don't know. I really don't do a whole lot of drugs there. There's so much stuff to do. I like staying
And
indoors.
why do you do so much here?
If I could figure that out, I would have stopped this a long time ago.
What have you done to try to figure it out?
I mean, I've done all kinds of treatment and meetings, and I've tried a lot. Like, I don't know.
How many times you done treatment? How many times you completed treatment?
Every time I've done it. I've never not completed anything.
The focus shifts to Scott's efforts to confront his addiction. He insists he has tried every treatment available, completing programs each time. Yet the judge challenges the sincerity of these claims, questioning the effectiveness and consistency of his past efforts. This moment exposes the uneasy tension between intent and results, emphasizing the relentless scrutiny defendants face when their personal struggles intersect with the legal system.
You hear that sound? You hear that sound?
I'm not sure. I hear a ticking sound.
Yeah, right. You know what that is?
No, Your Honor.
It's not a bomb, it's a clock.
Oh, okay.
How many ticks you got left?
Hopefully a lot.
Well, not very many if you keep putting that shit in your body. Right?
You're right.
That's no mystery to you, is it?
No.
Okay.
Suddenly, a ticking sound punctuates the courtroom, and the judge seizes it as a metaphor for life slipping away. He warns Scott that continued drug use reduces the time he has left, both literally and metaphorically. The observation is sharp and sobering, driving home the perilous consequences of addiction. The ticking becomes symbolic, a relentless reminder of mortality and the urgency of change that hangs over the defendant.
Who's sitting in the back of the courtroom here?
That's my uncle.
Is he the one that's going to bury you when you overdose on this shit?
I mean, if I did, then, I mean, he probably would. Hopefully.
You don't give a shit about him?
I do. I love him.
Well, you have a funny way of showing it. You didn't complete Stella Maris in 08. You were discharged one day, after one day, against medical advice. Yeah,
The judge
that's it.
directs attention to Scott's uncle in the courtroom, questioning whether he will have to witness tragedy caused by repeated overdoses. Scott acknowledges his love for family, but is confronted with a record of incomplete treatment from years prior. This section exposes the stark reality of consequence and accountability, as the courtroom becomes a mirror reflecting the pattern of choices that have brought him here.
Yeah, that's it. And then you got something at Lake Erie Correctional that you report that you completed. Outpatient at Lake Erie Correctional Institution. You ever hear of that, Kim? They let guys go in and what the hell is that?
I'm out there running them now.
Okay, so it never happened. Okay, so you've never done treatment.
Yeah.
No.
That was, I believe that was IOP. Yeah, I did that there.
You were a prisoner there and you did IOP?
Yes, Your Honor.
That's unique. Okay. Well, nobody has a record of that, so you've never tried anything, so you're not interested in trying anything, so I ain't getting in your
A
way.
tense showdown unfolds over the legitimacy of Scott's treatment history. The judge challenges inconsistencies, asserting that Scott has never genuinely attempted meaningful recovery. The confrontation is relentless and uncompromising, leaving the audience with the impression of the justice system unwilling to allow excuses. The moment underscores a critical intersection of personal responsibility and institutional authority.
I ain't getting in your way anymore, okay? Kim's got other people to babysit that actually show up. I'm gonna terminate your community control on 21 case, 12 months, credit for 315 days. On the 22 case, count 1, 18 months, count 2, 12 months, count 3, 12 months, concurrent, credit for 326, concurrent to 21, $1466 costs on both cases. So you're gonna do some time, and then nobody's gonna get in your way. You wanna kill yourself, then you'll go get the drugs and you'll do it. Anything else, Mr. Clammer?
No, Judge, thank you.
Sentencing arrives with unflinching severity. Scott is handed 18 months plus concurrent terms, with credit applied for time served. The judge's blunt warning emphasizes the dangers of continued drug use, highlighting the high stakes of his choices. This section captures the culmination of the courtroom drama, where consequences are laid bare and the tension that has been building throughout the proceedings finally reaches its peak.
How much time do you have?
For 18 with his credit.
18 months?
Yeah.
18 months.
All right, Kim.
18
Still not
so
too sad.
Yeah.
So you need a couple $100 for me to put into that account to get in jail?
No.
All right, well,
2.25 glasses, but I can't read.
0.25?
2.25.
2 point.
See, Randy, everyone.
2.25 liters? Well, how am I gonna get those?
You can drop them off to jail.
So you-
2.
In the closing moments, Scott confirms the time he must serve, and a mundane exchange about money and eyeglasses briefly punctuates the tension. The scene winds down naturally, leaving a lingering sense of both consequence and human vulnerability.